y'all to listen to some of the chatter around the NBA right now, right? And if you're not privileged to some of the information, I'm privileged to a little bit of it. I'm on some email chains. I'm in some text groups. You know, I get some of this stuff. So a lot of people disagree with Jimmy Butler's approach. For those who don't know, Jimmy Butler was traded to the Philadelphia 76ers earlier today. A lot of people around the league were not on the side of Jimmy Butler and how he went about getting traded out of Minnesota. A lot of people like he was childish. He was wham. Jimmy's the baby, all right? And a lot of people were like, yeah, that's kind of immature, Jimmy Butler, to be on the sideline waving a towel with the Golden State Warriors fan base when your team is losing, not playing just because you wanted rest, texting Rachel Nichols that you got a 6-week plan to get traded. Childish behavior from Jimmy B. But if you listen to some of that same NBA chatter, you don't hear anyone calling Jimmy Butler out for wanting to leave Minnesota. All right, that brings me to a bigger point. Let's leave Jimmy Butler alone in regards to him and focus on what he was saying. The reason why Jimmy Butler wanted out is because he didn't believe in those guys to this side of your screen. Karl Anthony Towns and Wiggins. Now, what was the first thing we heard from Woj? This was a Woj story today. Him and Zach Lowe broke this Jimmy Butler trade to Philly. What was the first thing you heard Woj say today? If you didn't, I'll tell you. The first thing Woj said after he said Jimmy Butler was getting traded to Minnesota and announced the other play, or to Philly and announced the other players in the deal. First thing Woj said was Jimmy Butler and Philly under the table are already close to reaching a new deal. Now, they can't sign a new deal technically until the summer, right? If you think Philly and Jimmy Butler's agent are not talking right now about a new long-term deal, just obviously they're not going to let it get out to the public, you're only fooling yourself. All right, Philly wouldn't make a move like that if they didn't have communication with Jimmy's agent and they know he doesn't mind being long-term in Philly with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Now things could change if Ben and Jimmy Butler didn't get along. Of course, Jimmy Butler could walk this summer, but I doubt it. You're not going to find two talented young dudes like what you got right now too often. He thought he had that in Minnesota. So what I'm trying to make is, immediately, Jimmy Butler's like, I want to be here. I'll sign away my rights. Where's the paper? If I could sign today, I would. Give me the pen. I want to sign the contract right now. Hell, I'll sign it with 2 pens if need be. He's ready to sign on the dotted line with those 2 guys. He was unwilling to sign a long-term deal with those 2 guys. He complained about their work ethic. As a matter of fact, he took some third-string guys right before the season and beat those 2 guys in a scrimmage. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's some truth in what Jimmy Butler said. We just don't like how he went about it. No one's calling LeVar Ball out when he makes statements about Luke should play less guys or he should do this and do that. A lot of times we'd be like, yo, LeVar Ball is probably right. It's just the way he went about saying it. He's out of line to disrespect his son's head coach. You know, Karl Anthony Towns and Wiggins ain't showing me a lot. Cat, I got to give respect to Cat. He is, even when I feel like he's half-hearted, he can still go out and get you 20 and 10. Up until this season. I know he didn't want to play with Jimmy Butler anymore. He didn't like it. But he's a good dude. Wiggins, a disappointment since day one. And I can compare Karl Anthony Towns to Joel Embiid, and I can compare Wiggins to Simmons. Wiggins and Simmons, both 2 Canadian guys, both arrogant guys. I've been to games and covered both of them. They're both arrogant guys. I know, they believe they're the best. The problem is one guy's on the court proving it with stats and getting his team into the playoffs and winning series in Simmons. The other guy in Wiggins is not right now. And Embiid, to me, Embiid is the person that Jimmy Butler wants to play with. Yo, Embiid he's not afraid against the Warriors. He's talking smack to Golden State. He's talking smack to Draymond. You see him on Instagram. He's talking smack to Andre Drummond in the game. He's saying he owns Andre Drummond and backing it up with stellar performances against teams. He's phenomenal. And I think Jimmy Butler is getting everything he didn't have in Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. He's getting that in Philly right now. So we can knock Jimmy Butler for the way he went about it, but one thing's for certain, 2 things for sure. What he said, I really believe Karl Anthony Towns enjoys playing Fortnite more than he does playing NBA basketball. You know, I'm watching the Lakers play Minnesota the other night. The Lakers signed Tyson Chandler after he was bought out from Phoenix. I'm watching Karl Anthony Towns try to back down. There's some video going around the internet. He's trying to back down Tyson Chandler, and it's like he's going against a brick wall. All due respect to Tyson Chandler, and he's got grown man strength. He's been in the league 18 years. Cat's like the #1 pick. This supposed to be the guy, right? You can't make a move to get past an 18-year veteran in the league? Nah, not my type of guy. Yo, Wiggins was supposed to be the guy. They were comparing this dude to like Tracy McGrady. His athleticism is off the wall. He ain't showing me that. He don't even be looking invested in games. A lot of times I watch Minnesota play, I forget Wiggins on the court. What top 3 pick am I supposed to forget is on the court? Say what you want. Say what you want about Jimmy Butler and his approach. He got what he wanted, man. He complained his way. You look, we're looking around the league, and some of these guys who've complained, you know, told these teams, I'm not signing to you long term. Look around. Paul George, he told Indiana, I'm going to LA. The Pacers was like, we're going to get you. We're going to trade you to OKC. Paul George fell in love with OKC. You know, I don't think the Thunder are a championship team, but they won 7 games in a row as of right now as I shoot this video. Paul George is happy with Russell Westbrook. Kyrie Irving, he was like, I ain't playing with LeBron. I know he leaving Cleveland in a year. I'm not doing this. Get me out of here. He asked for a trade. He's like, look, I'll go play in Phoenix. That was on Kyrie's bucket list. He's like, trade me to Phoenix. I'll go play in Phoenix by myself. I don't care. They traded him to Boston. Kyrie loves it in Boston. I don't know if Boston loves Kyrie, but Kyrie loves it in Boston. Now look up, Jimmy B. He's on the sideline waving the towel with the Golden State Warriors fans as his team's losing. And he's on a contender now, a serious contender in the Eastern Conference. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. They are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now, Mr.
TALIAFERRO'S.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Shout out to Mr. TALIAFERRO.
You're watching Mr. TALIAFERRO TV.
Mr. TALIAFERRO TV. Here with the Triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.